So what happened with Rogue Company? Rogue Company was a third-person shooter that I was really fond of. I mean, really fond of. If you guys look back in the day, I was one of the first to cover Rogue Company, period. I was the first just championing this game from the rooftops on my old previous channel. Now we are here today in 2025, and I just want to reminisce on what was, okay? Rogue Company was a third-person hero shooter slash tactical shooter that for the most part was trying to be a round-based experience. And then everything somehow ultimately went left, and we are now here where we are at today. And it just sucks, okay? Because I personally know that there's many folks out there that really enjoyed the Rogue Company experience. And if you are one of those people, give this video a huge like. And if you care about anything third-person shooter related in games like Rogue Company, this is the channel for you. You're definitely going to enjoy the content and coverage I provide here on the channel. And thank you for considering subscribing. I appreciate it. Now, with that out the way, I want to be very honest and transparent with you guys here and tell you the one huge flaw that Rogue Company had. It was a lack of a competitive scene through poor execution, right? Competitive was supposed to pull Rogue Company forward, and this game was supposed to be something not huge, but monumental to this small community, okay? The competitive slash ranked scene for this game was supposed to bring out the beauty in this game. However, when you went to go play a ranked match within Rogue Company, shit just fell apart. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It was just terrible. The experience was time consuming, confusing, and just convoluted in every way, shape, and form. And that's what ultimately, in my opinion, really hurt Rogue Company reaching a larger audience, okay? Now, I know many folks might have other reasons as well, but that was the biggest, okay? If you tried the ranked experience, you know firsthand what I am talking about. It was atrocious. It was god awful, man. And I'm telling you, I was hanging in there with Hi-Res Studio and praying to God that the devs got their shit together and actually revamped the ranked system, because honestly, it just was horrible. It was horrible. And I'm a person that plays Rainbow Six Siege. I'm a person that has played Counter-Strike in the past. I'm from the era of SOCOM, Gears of War, like ranked experiences. You know what I'm saying? Halo. Like, listen, man. I know how a good ranked system works, and I personally know what needs to be facilitated. Heck, they even had Scott Gandhi, that was an ex-Halo champion, developing this game, and they just couldn't get it right. To me, honestly, they didn't use the examples of what was out there that was actually working in the multiplayer space that made for a good ranked experience and just bring it to their game. It's like they tried everything else besides blueprints that actually worked for a ranked experience. And that really baffled me why this was such a fucking struggle to get the ranked scene off the ground for this game. Okay, it wasn't that they had a lack of interest, because the interest was there at the base level, right? But when you try to force a competitive scene into your game, it just doesn't work. It's like they wanted it to work so bad when the foundation itself just was not built well. Again, loading into matches was troublesome. Just understanding how shit flowed was just terrible. And connecting to matches just took fucking forever. Okay, and then honestly, after that, outside of grinding your characters and just hitting levels and shit, there was really nothing else to do. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, Rogue Company was fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. The game was solid. It, honest to God, was solid. But without that competitive edge and that grind to make us play every season or however they had it going, it just wasn't interesting after a while. There was just nothing else to do. You even seen Dr. Disrespect walk right out the door. He got dropped a bag for, I guess, partnering up or doing whatever he did, and got the fuck up out of there because there was nothing to grind. The ranked scene and how things were formatted on that level was just a joke, and nobody took it serious at all. And heck, to some degree, some might think that the game was too arcadey. Me personally, I'm kind of like, maybe in retrospect, was it too arcadey? I don't know. But honest to God, without that competitive scene and that ranked system intact in play for this title, it was going to be a uphill battle regardless. So now let's update ourselves with a new look and perspective from another content creator. Now I'm going to react to a Rogue Company video by another content creator that actually provided a update on what Rogue Company is looking like in 2025. And I'm going to provide my dialogue. Now, mind you guys, I did not watch this video at all, and this is going to be one you're going to want to watch. So without further ado, let's hop into it. All right, peeps, you know what time it is.
It is reaction time. Oh yes. Oh yes, baby. Oh yeah, you can't see me. You can't. You can't. Yeah. Yeah.
So guys, the Rogue Company video we are reacting to is by Gecko Presents. This content creator's video is as follows. This is Rogue Company in 2025. Then Gecko asks in his thumbnail, is Rogue Company dead? Now mind you peeps, it's about to get real. I am reacting, providing my dialogue to Gecko Presents video, okay? Now mind you guys, all the links to Gecko's video is down in the description below. Please feel free to support a fellow content creator and subscribe to his channel, and also check out his original video for Rogue Company. So without further ado guys, let's hop in to the reaction.
Rogue Company is a game that I'm sure most of you are familiar with, especially if you've been around the channel. Rogue Company is a game created by Hi-Rez on September 30th, 2020, and was a unique game to the tactical shooter genre by being third person. I personally started playing.
I really appreciate third-person shooters. Like, guys, always remember that. Like, I'm just so passionate about third-person shooters. If you love third-person shooters, give this video a like, okay? Just give it a big like. But Rogue Company was really special for that aspect because not a lot of comp shooters or shooters that are trying to do something special in the shooter scene overall, right? Be it a tactical shooter, hero shooter, so on and so forth, take on this perspective of third person, and I really respected Hi-Rez for doing so. They were fucking awesome for that.
Playing the game 6 days after it released, so I've been here through all the ups and downs and even more downs that the game has been through over the past 4.5 years. But now in 2020, where does the game compare to back whenever it was in its prime, or even just 2 years ago? The game was in its prime for really just the first year of it being out, where the game received 8 new characters in just 1 year, and we also got a few new maps. But then for the next 2 years, we only received 2 new characters and only 2 to 3 new maps. So the devs dumped a lot of content into the game the first year, but then didn't offer much after that, which wasn't a good look because after the first year, they set a standard that players were hoping they'd meet going forward, but the devs just didn't deliver. The game has always had its dedicated fan base, however, that have stuck with the game throughout all the years, and some still play the game to this day. Even though the game hasn't received a single update in over a year now. The game,
and honest to God, like they were really hoping that ranked really took off. I could just see they were really banking that ranked took off for this game because the content, he's not lying, was pretty good up front for Rogue Company when it came out the gate, right? I was very excited. My community was going crazy for it. People across the internet generally received the game positively, right? But I'm telling you, man, when it came down to like just pulling people to keep going and grinding in the game, there was nothing. The competitive scene was just zilch. There's nothing that made you feel like anything was really on the line in Rogue Company because honestly, they never executed any type of competition or any type of grind in the game. Well, they just didn't. Almost like a Gears of War Reloaded situation. Honest to God, guys. Honest to God. It's almost just like that.
It has always been amazing and had a lot of potential since the beginning, with the game's prime being one of the most fun times of my life, with many updates, stable servers, and great community. Nowadays we have struggling servers, no updates at all, but still a great community that's dedicated to loving the game we once had, even with it being at its lowest point ever. Players around the community even talk about how much they wish we could get a Rogue Company 2 because the game deserves much better than what we got by the devs. So to the question, is Rogue Company dead? It depends on your definition of dead, but I never say a game is dead until it becomes impossible to get into games. But with Rogue Company, you can still easily get into games if you're queuing for the right game modes like TDM or Strikeout, and if you're on the right servers. Most players play on EU servers nowadays because that's where the most stable servers are at. So no, I'd say the game isn't completely...
It just dawned on me. Here's another thing I gotta say. This, I feel personally, was another fatal flaw for Rogue Company, period. And it cannot be overlooked. The economy system, although it performed okay, I feel like they needed to get away from that. I feel personally they needed to get away from that. They try to do the Counter-Strike approach because they try to follow that, right? And there's nothing wrong with the Counter-Strike approach. I think Counter-Strike is dope as a legacy title, right? But when games try to do the buy systems, shit gets a little funny. Shit gets a little funny. There's only certain games that really step up to the plate in that manner that do it well. Me personally, I don't like buy systems in my shooters. That's just me. I'm going to keep it all the way real. And I feel like there was a way for Rogue Company to circumvent that. I feel like the buy system was another part of this game that just, I don't know. It made sense in theory, but I don't know. Just for the soul and feel of the game, personally to me, I felt like there was some way to circumvent that and get around that. Quickly just seeing that flash up in front of me, it just brought back the memory like, oh yeah, they had a buy system. Yeah, in retrospect, I feel like that was an error. I feel like the buy system should have went. And then compounding on top of a bad ranked system that they tried to implement with this game, shit just went downhill very fast. And my man's on point so far. Credit to Gecko.
However, it's definitely at the worst time of its life, and I wish it got better treatment, but Hi-Rez has always been known for making games with amazing potential, but then letting it go to waste because they don't know how to manage their games properly. But
Now, is that true, y'all? Like, honestly, I haven't played Realm Royale and Paladins and all that shit, but is that true? Is that what they're known for? Like, my deep dive with Hi-Rez was Rogue Company, right? And they essentially, from what I'm seeing, looks like as though they abandoned the game, right? Is that what they do? Let me know down in the comment section, guys. Be real with me. Let me know.
the games still always have their dedicated fan bases, like Paladins, for example. But with all that being said, I still love Rogue Company and the fan base it has, and the fan base has allowed me to grow over the past 4 years. But I also see people asking if the game is going to be shut down soon, and I can tell you that it is absolutely not going to be shut down. The game will still be playable for at least another year or two before it possibly gets shut down.
So, guys, that was it. Like, honest to God, that's all he said. And then he rolled into gameplay. I didn't see that coming. Now, I'm just going to keep it real with you. Rogue Company meant the world to me. In the past, I thought this game was going to really have legs to grow and find a community that would foster something special where the game would see even more growth, right? And so far, from what we have seen with history, that's not happening. And it's very unfortunate, in my opinion, because the potential here and that P word just rings on this channel, man. The potential to do something special here with Rogue Company was through the roof. And it seems as though everything was squandered and just wasted away, essentially, right? Again, in my opinion, it's still a good shooter experience. It's still a good hero shooter / tactical experience. I would definitely have to call out the number one downfall for this game is the lack of a grind, the lack of a full, well-nurtured competitive system that carries this community into something more, right? Just more than being a fun shooter. Hey, it's okay. It's a great time. But what are we fighting for? What's the carrot for us to chase? What is the grind equating to, right? There was just nothing that was adding up to make this game special and make it something that was actually a viable competitive shooter, unfortunately. But that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Make sure that you like this video and consider subscribing today. Also, if you did not check out my last video, it is about a third-person shooter called Gears of War. And I went in on it and I asked the question, is Gears of War Reloaded dead? Be sure to click here and I'll be sure to see you there.